My husband and best friend faked my death, so I showed up at their wedding. Before we begin, this is a true story that will shake you to your core. Names have been changed for legal protection. Subscribe now because what happens next will leave you speechless. Like and follow for more stories of incredible revenge and justice served. I'm Victoria Chase, and 6 months ago, my husband and best friend tried to kill me in a boating accident. Today, they're getting married, thinking I'm dead at the bottom of Lake Michigan. But I'm very much alive, and I'm about to give them the wedding surprise of a lifetime. The day I discovered my husband was trying to kill me wasn't the day of the accident. It was 3 weeks earlier when I found the life insurance policy he'd taken out on me. $5 million, double payout for accidental death. Until then, I was happily married to James Chase, one of Chicago's most successful defense attorneys. Or so I thought. "You're being paranoid, Vic," my best friend Rachel said when I mentioned the insurance policy. "James adores you. Besides, I helped him set it up. It's just standard estate planning." Rachel Williams, my best friend since college, the maid of honor at my wedding, the woman who would later help my husband try to murder me. I might have believed her if I hadn't seen the text message that popped up on James's phone that same night. "Everything's set for the lake house next month. She won't see it coming." I didn't confront them. Instead, I started digging. First, I found the burner phones hidden in James's office, then the secret bank account statements. Finally, the emails between them, dating back 2 years. They weren't just having an affair. They were planning my elimination. "We need to make it look natural," James had written. "The lake house is perfect. Remote, deep water, and Victoria never learned to swim properly." Rachel's response: "The sleeping pills I prescribed will make sure she's disoriented. No one will question a tragic accident." That's right. My best friend wasn't just helping my husband kill me. She was using her position as a doctor to make it happen. I had 3 weeks until our romantic lake house getaway. 3 weeks to prepare for my own murder. So I started playing the perfect, unsuspecting wife. "These pills are really helping with my anxiety," I told Rachel during our weekly coffee date, watching her try to hide her smile as I pretended to take them. First, I contacted Marcus Rodriguez, a private investigator who specialized in insurance fraud. "They're planning to kill me," I told him, showing him the evidence. "And I'm planning to let them think they succeeded." Together, we crafted a counterplan. While James and Rachel plotted my death, we plotted my survival and their downfall. I started making small cash withdrawals, building a survival fund they couldn't trace. Changed my will secretly, adding a video statement about my suspicions. Installed hidden cameras in our house, capturing their late-night meetings. But the most crucial part? I started taking swimming lessons. Intensive private sessions every day while James was at work. The night before the lake house trip, I overheard them in James's study. "Tomorrow night, it'll all be over," Rachel whispered. "We can finally be together." James laughed softly. Poor Victoria. She never saw it coming. The lake house was beautiful in the moonlight. Remote, peaceful, the perfect place for a murder. I watched James pour the wine, adding what he thought was a deadly combination of Rachel's pills to my glass. "To us," he smiled, raising his glass. The same smile I'd fallen in love with 8 years ago. I pretended to drink, pretended to get drowsy. "I think I need some air," I slurred, stumbling toward the dock exactly as they'd planned. What they didn't know, I was wearing a waterproof camera. Marcus and his team were positioned around the lake, documenting everything, and I had a small oxygen tank hidden under my jacket. James followed me to the dock. "Let me help you, honey," he said, his voice dripping with fake concern. I felt his hands on my back, ready to push. The water was cold when I went in, but I was ready. As I sank beneath the surface, I heard their muffled celebration above. "Call 911, James shouted, playing the panicked husband perfectly. "My wife fell in." I swam deeper, activating the small underwater lights we'd planted days before. To anyone searching, it would look like a body sinking to the bottom. By the time the search teams arrived, I was safely hidden in Marcus's boat on the other side of the lake. Through our surveillance equipment, we heard everything. James's Oscar-worthy grief, Rachel's concerned friend act, the search team's failed attempts to find my body. The current must have taken her, the police concluded. From my hidden apartment in Milwaukee, I watched their elaborate show unfold. James, the grieving widow, breaking down at my funeral. Rachel, the devastated best friend, holding him as he cried over my empty casket. Victoria was like a sister to me, Rachel sobbed during her eulogy. I nearly choked on my coffee watching the performance through the live stream. 2 weeks after my death, James filed the life insurance claim. 3 weeks after that, he and Rachel were spotted having dinner in hidden corners of expensive restaurants. Always careful, always discreet. They had to wait the appropriate amount of time after all. But I wasn't just watching. I was building. Every secret meeting they had was photographed. Every grieving phone call was recorded. Every transaction was tracked. 6 months. That's how long they waited before announcing their engagement. Finding love after tragedy, the social media posts read, 2 people healing together. From my hidden apartment, I watched them plan their perfect wedding. Every detail was a mockery of my death. They even chose the same wedding planner I had used for our wedding. I spent those months preparing meticulously. Marcus helped me gather a team. Investigative journalists, federal agents, forensic accountants, each one ready to play their part. The evidence was overwhelming. Emails planning my murder, bank transfers proving their affair, Rachel's prescription records, insurance fraud documentation, video footage from the lake house. Their chosen venue was the Drake Hotel, Chicago's most prestigious location, the same place where James had proposed to me 5 years earlier. Through the hotel's security cameras, I watched the morning unfold. Rachel in the bridal suite, trying on my mother's pearl necklace, the one James had given her from my jewelry box after my death. Everything's in place, Marcus confirmed. Media crews are positioned. Federal agents are standing by. All exits are covered. I checked my reflection one last time. The dress I'd chosen was white. Not bridal white, but the stark white of vengeance. My hair was styled exactly as it had been the night of my accident. 500 of Chicago's elite filed into the ballroom. Society columnists, business partners, even the governor. Everyone who was anyone had come to witness this love story. The wedding march began to play. Rachel, radiant in her designer gown, started her walk down the aisle. James beamed at his bride, probably thinking about the $5 million my death had brought them. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today. I waited in the hotel's service corridor, listening through my earpiece as the minister began the ceremony. If anyone knows any reason why these two should not be joined in holy matrimony, speak now or forever hold your peace. The ballroom's massive doors swung open. The music stopped. 500 heads turned. I can think of a few reasons, I said, my voice carrying through the stunned silence. Like attempted murder, insurance fraud, and conspiracy. Rachel's bouquet hit the floor. James's face went from confusion to shock to terror in the span of seconds. Victoria? He whispered, his voice cracking. Hello, darling, I smiled, walking down the aisle they decorated with white roses, my favorite flowers. Miss me? Rachel screamed, a high, piercing sound that shattered the stunned silence. She stumbled backward, her designer dress tangling around her feet, her face as white as her gown. James tried to run, but where could he go? Federal agents were already moving in from every exit. This is impossible, he stammered. You're dead. You drowned. Did I? I walked closer, enjoying every step. Let's watch what really happened that night. The giant screens meant for displaying wedding photos suddenly lit up with surveillance footage from the lake house. Every guest could see James spiking my wine, Rachel's instructions over the phone, their celebration as I drowned. You see, I addressed the shocked crowd. While these two were planning their fairy tale wedding, I was planning something else. The screens switched to their private text messages, emails, and bank transfers. 6 years of affair records, 2 years of murder planning, 6 months of spending my death benefit money. Victoria, please. James tried his lawyer voice, the one that had won him so many cases. This is all a misunderstanding. A misunderstanding? I pulled out a small remote. Like this conversation 2 weeks ago? The speakers filled with their own voices. James, can you believe how perfectly it worked out? Rachel, $5 million and that stupid bitch at the bottom of the lake. James, to think she never suspected a thing. The gasps from the wedding guests were audible. Society matrons clutched their pearls. Journalists frantically typed on their phones. This was going viral in real time. Oh, and James? I smiled, removing my mother's pearls from Rachel's neck as she was cuffed. You should know I wasn't the first. The screens changed again, showing evidence we'd uncovered of 2 other suspicious deaths. James's first wife and a former business partner. Both accidents. Both with insurance payouts. James Chase, Rachel Williams, the lead FBI agent stepped forward. You're under arrest for conspiracy to commit murder, insurance fraud, and criminal conspiracy. You took everything from me, Rachel spat as they led her away. No, Rachel, you took everything from yourself. I just showed everyone who you really are. As they were led away in handcuffs, I addressed their stunned wedding guests. The 5-course dinner will still be served. Consider it my treat. A celebration of justice rather than their union. Oh, and check under your seats. You'll find detailed documentation of their crimes, including how they plan to use many of you as alibis for my murder. Within hours, the story exploded. Hashtag Dead Wives Revenge and hashtag Wedding from Hell trended globally. Every major network was bidding for exclusive rights to my story. James's law firm announced his immediate termination. Rachel's medical license was suspended. Their assets were frozen. My death benefit was recalled with interest. The trials were swift and devastating. My evidence was ironclad, their confessions caught on camera at their own wedding. 30 years each. No possibility of parole. But I wasn't done. The story sparked a nationwide investigation into suspicious spouse deaths. 12 other cases were reopened. 6 murderers were caught. I started a foundation. Dead Wives Tell Tales. We help people recognize the signs of planned accidents, teach survival skills, and fund investigations into suspicious spouse deaths. James and Rachel write sometimes, separately, each blaming the other. The letters go straight to the FBI, adding years to their sentences as they implicate themselves in other crimes. Last week, a woman came to my foundation. Her husband had just taken out a large insurance policy. Her best friend was acting strange. She'd found suspicious texts. We helped her set up cameras, gathered evidence, called the FBI. 2 more arrests, 2 more lives saved. Because sometimes the best revenge isn't just about justice. It's about making sure they never hurt anyone else. And sometimes you have to die to make sure the truth lives forever.